Hey, really?
I know football. What you did with those boys. You were the right man for the job, coach.
You're Hall of Fame in my book.
Now, let's analyze what's been working for us. Not a goddamn thing's been working for us. Like this goddamn suit doesn't work for me. And this stinking tie, and this goddamn shirt, it doesn't work for me!
I'll tell you why you don't have your $10 million yet. 'Cause right now, you are a paycheck player. You play with your head, not your heart. In your personal life, heart. But when you get on the field, it's all about what you didn't get, who's to blame, who underthrew the pass, who's got the contract you don't, who's not giving you your love. You know what? That is not what inspires people.
This is your opportunity
For
here.
you. Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime. But I don't want your life.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that itch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
You know how to play winning hard-nosed football? You play football like a Gennaro played football. A guy who gave his life for this football team. He was a 140-pound halfback, and he played like a goddamn wild man. No, like a goddamn rampaging beast. And that's the way you gotta do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
I'll see you in L.A.
No heart.
No heart? I'm all heart, motherfucker!
What a fun way to kick off Sunday morning. Football action from the movies. It's your boys, MKB Fantasy. MJ Govier. We're live, and we already got the first question just flying in. Look at this. Just come right at us. They don't give a shit. They don't care what they don't care what we're doing. Let's just get the answers. Let's get the answers. Anthony, what's up, man? Rashad White or Montgomery in a flex PPR. I give it to you right away. This is your boy, David Montgomery. Mike, hit him.
Man, I want to say Rashad White here. He just was ineffective in his first game against a really poor Vikings defense. Montgomery didn't see any balls catching wise last week, so that's a tough one. I think Montgomery has a better chance to score, honestly. Give me Montgomery. And that's my boy. I am being a little bit biased, I will say.
Oh, there you go. Anthony, you're the first one of the day. They can never take that away from you, ever. Oh, Pat, what's up? Pat wants to know Jordan Wicks today. Wrong show, Pat. Very funny. How's Jordan Wicks doing? Is he still good? I don't know.
He's been bad. He hasn't been bad. I'm actually starting him today, Patrick, if that makes your decision any easier. But yeah, I like him.
Good to see you, Patty. Chad's here in the live chat, just like everybody else. Jump in. Make yourself be known. Dire dynasty situation. Eckler out with these options. Trey Palmer versus Juco Bears D. Butte, 1 foot in bounds. Hyatt, no targets. Lat Murray, all floor. Ahmed, Mostert, health. Yeah, Mostert, is he going to be available or not? They're down to Salvon Ahmed, who's always lingered in that Miami backfield for like 3 years now.
Yep.
It's strange. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I'm not really sure the situation here. Is he asking which to start of these?
Yeah, for a dynasty team. If you got no Eckler, you're digging deep here for flex, it seems like.
Yeah, real bad.
That's a tough one. I think I go Trey Palmer.
Go ahead. Yeah, that was my vote too. Just because what we saw from him last week. I'm going off of last week. Give me Trey Palmer.
Another one locked in. We're moving forward here. Patty says, "Oh man, still good." Thanks, Mike. That's right. Mike's got you covered on the Jordan Wicks.
No problem, man.
Donovan, what's up? Good morning, Donovan. All I heard is White doesn't have balls. Well, we all hear what we want to hear in the end, don't we?
That's putting it mildly.
Jamie's here. Anthony Richardson over Justin Fields today. Anthony Richardson and the Colts are on the road taking on the Houston Texans live 1 p.m. games. We're going to cover that, of course, in more detail here. But I should be sleeping. I'll be dead soon, and I'll miss all the games. Yeah, well, Jamie stays up very, very late, works overnights, basically. So that makes sense. But for me, I like Houston's defense. They're not bad. Houston showed me a little something against you saw your Baltimore Ravens take on the Texans at home out the gate. 25-9 final score. D'Amico Ryan's new head coach in Houston, former defensive stalwart for Houston as a linebacker, and of course did good work in San Francisco as DC. So to me, I think D'Amico Ryan knows defense, and he knows the Texans' path to victories is to use a lot of Dameon Pierce, and you lean on that defense. And I think I like Houston today, and I'd rather go Fields against Tampa, although I like Tampa's D too. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I'm going Justin Fields simply off the reasons that you just said. They looked good against my Ravens last week against Lamar Jackson. So, and I think Fields probably gives you a safer floor just because we've seen it from him for pretty much all of last season, except the latter half of last season. So I still need to see a little bit more from Anthony Richardson before I start him over Fields.
That's fair. Yeah. Also, it's a rookie versus rookie. You got Anthony Richardson versus CJ Stroud. So somebody's got to win. Someone maybe has to perform well, or maybe neither quarterback performs well, and it's all about some other offensive players on one side of the ball than the other. But either way, I'm excited. So
it's also worth noting.
Oh, hang on.
We're semifinals now. Guess what personality the contenders
Wait, where's this guy talking? You ruined my American Blazers.
Today on American.
Oh, fuck that. I thought it was the theme. God damn it. Go ahead, talk. I was getting ready to get us all excited about Anthony Richardson versus CJ Stroud live in Texas.
It's also worth noting that the Texans are going to be without Larry Tunsil today, so they're missing 4 of their starting offensive linemen today. So keep that in mind. And CJ Stroud is also coming in with a shoulder injury, but apparently he's playing. So just want to make sure that people know that, which means they could rely a little bit heavier on the ground with Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce, but kind of scares me in terms of their offensive line. So,
well, Stroud can move around. That's the good news. He's got some mobility for sure. He's not Anthony Richardson, but still, that's an issue.
Yeah, and I also want to say that playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life. So
there you go.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked.
It's possible that could be the Texans after 4:00 today, but I'm not expecting that. Look at the 1:00 slate here as we get into things. I am excited about this Lions-Seahawks matchup, right? My Bozo Lions here hosting the Seahawks. Remember last year? I mentioned this earlier this week on the show. 48-45 was the final score. It was a wild offensive affair.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that's going to happen again. Past performance does not predict future outcomes. I think everybody knows that, Mike, but Seattle might not be the team they were last year. They got a few breaks last year. They got off, remember the first week? Russell Wilson comes back after he's traded. They're really fired up, and they beat him at home. Everyone thinks Geno Smith is trash, and I think they really rode that momentum into the season, and it did. They produced. They got some talent. I'm not saying Kenneth Walker's not a stud, and even I actually like Jackson Smith and Jigba today. I think he's going to score his first career NFL touchdown today against the Lions.
Ooh, lock it in.
There we go.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, and I actually have starting today Jared Goff and David Montgomery. I think the Lions win handedly today. The Seahawks did not look good defensively against Matt Ryan and a depleted receiving core over there in LA. So again, I like really everybody on your studs on Detroit, right? So Jared Goff, your David Montgomerys, your Amon-Ra St. Browns, the Sun God himself, even Matt Laporta. I think Matt Laporta has a big day today as well.
Do you guys know that we have a Patreon? It starts at just $3. We got all kinds of good, ill shit to provide you all week long. Baseball is still finishing up. There's still a little bit of baseball content left, but there's college football picks. There's DFS plays for the primetime games. We got more stuff, too, for NFL betting. We got everything. We got so much stuff. And I was really disappointed because I really was hoping that I could make a video for every matchup, Mike. I really did. There's just not enough time in the day, I guess. I try so hard. But, boy, when you work, 40, 50-hour work week, and then you try to do all this other stuff around it, there's just not going to be enough time in a week to do everything you want to do. And I don't even have kids either. That's crazy, It's really surprising. But I was able to create one of these, and this is a free preview. because this is put up on the Patreon late last night. This is what you can get for the Palazzo Patreon. Check this out. All right, see? Look at that. We got start sits. We got Govier says, a little tidbit for you. This is the Lions-Seahawks matchup. As you can see there, no Tyler Lockett on the starts. And then on the sits, there you go. I got all my sits. Marvin Jones is trash. I got both defenses on sits. So there you go. A little free preview. You want to check out the Patreon, you can get yeah, not bad, right? If I could make one of these for every single one of the games, then it'd be awesome. That's my hope. So
yeah,
we're going to get there. Thanks.
And if you guys didn't catch that on the screen there, Michael had mentioned that Seattle gives up the second most points to tight ends. So again, Matt LaPorta could be a guy that you could use if you're hurting a tight end or if you need a tight end.
Wait. I think you said a name who actually was a real person, but it wasn't Sam. Matt LaPorta was a baseball player?
Matt LaPorta was a baseball player, yes.
He was, wasn't he?
University of Florida. University of Florida.
Wow, dude.
No, I was trying to remember if he was a baseball player. No, he really was. Yeah, that's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, Sam LaPorta could have. I mean, that was last year. We can't look at the week 1 stats and say Seattle does this season. It's one damn game. Nobody should be based off one game. So we still, I think, should at least consider last season's stats. So I know there's roster turnover and obviously there's coaching changes, but there's still some things. I think you could pick something out, like I said, with the tight ends being rather successful against Seattle last year. I mean, Seattle's defense wasn't very good. I don't think it's that much. I mean, the Rams came out and blitzed the shit out of them. I mean, actually, that's something we should think about and talk about here, Mike. Week 1, there's some weird things that happen. Who are you buying, or which ones are you saying are bullshit when it comes to the week 1 performances? Like, you could talk about the teams or the players, because I think the Rams are going to be in for a reality check in week 2 against San Francisco here after what they did on the road in Seattle.
100%. And I totally agree with that take. I'm taking week 1 and pushing it out the door is anybody that plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. I know they're going up against my boys today. Joe Burrow looked like shit. T. Higgins had 8 targets on 0 catches. Joe Mixon didn't play well. Jamar Chase wasn't effective either. I think that changes all today. Home matchup. I think you see the Bengals of old. If you were able to buy low on guys like T. Higgins or even Joe Mixon after their week 1 performance against Cleveland, that's a complete and utter dud. Do not worry about it. Start your Bengals today. I promise. The Ravens secondary is trash. We're missing 2 corners. I expect Higgins and Jamar Chase to ball out today.
Booyah! Okay. I can get down with that. I think I'm a little concerned, though, because everybody seems to be jumping on the Cincinnati bounce back. So I'm actually concerned because I've heard every single person who runs a betting show for NFL or has a fantasy show or just has a platform at all say, I really like Cincinnati to just forget about what happened week 1, come back and kick Baltimore's ass. Now, when everybody lines up on something, sometimes it still works out, Mike, but I don't know. I'm totally down with the Cincinnati return to form. I completely agree, but I'm a little worried now.
Yeah, and it's worth noting too that the big thing with these games, especially the North matchups, right, between the Ravens and the Bengals, is they play each other tough, right? But again, home matchup, that Cleveland game in week 1, the weather was terrible too, so there wasn't a whole lot of offensive production. Cleveland really came out and knocked him in the mouth. I just can't. I can't imagine that we're going to see anywhere near that performance that we saw in week 1 from the Bengals. So we'll see. But yeah, when everybody else yings, you yang, right? And sometimes it's good to fade those guys too, especially in betting matchups. If you can get better odds as well, because everyone's going to be taking the Bengals, might be able to get some good odds on the Ravens. So,
yeah, and if for DFS too, I think a lot of people are going to think that the Ravens defense will be bad this week, and that there'll be a lot of Cincinnati stacks, maybe some bringbacks with a Baltimore receiver.
Yep,
not a running back though, or Gus Edwards is the guy now in the backfield there?
Yep, absolutely. Everyone I do think Justice Hill is worth a speculative ad, but if history repeats itself, and we've seen J.K. Dobbins hurt multiple times before in the past, Gus Edwards has usually been the guy to step up. But if they have a new offensive coordinator, this is why I'm saying add Justice Hill. If he's floating around on your waiver wire, make sure you grab him, especially in PPR formats. That was under the old regime, right? So with Todd Monken in there now as our offensive coordinator. Maybe he switches things up and he goes with Justice Hill, and maybe it's a little bit more even than we think. But again, both backs should be owned. But I'm not starting either one of them today.
Okay.
Little trouble there.
We'll see if there's a little trouble there or not. Let's quickly go over some injuries here. We need to know. In that Lions-Seahawks game, it looks like Taylor Decker's not going to play starting offensive tackle, right? Yep. I know we're still waiting on a status on that, I think, officially, because it's 10:30. Usually you get final injury report about 11:30-ish and then into the noon hour. But I think that's the big injury to keep an eye on in the Seahawks-Lions game. Do you think that reduces their ability to run the ball effectively at all against Seattle?
No, I mean, I don't think Seattle's necessarily a run-stopping defense, and I think the Lions are going to want to be balanced on offense, similar to how they were last week against Kansas City. So I think they stay true to who they are, and I don't have any concerns there. I actually think Gibbs is going to get a lot more work in the receiving downs too today. So I think both backs have value. I'm not concerned though about Dave Montgomery's outlook.
Nice. Rick's here. R-I-K. Morning, fellas. Morning, Rick. How you doing?
Hey, Rick.
Half PPR, need one for flex. So we're looking to start a flex here. Half PPR. Jerry Jeudy, B-Rob, Brian Robinson, Drake London, who was catchless last week, I believe. Samaji Perine, Zach Moss. Thanks. All right. What do you got, Mike?
Ooh, well, as I'm sure you know, Rick, the Broncos take on the Commanders today, so you get the Jeudy and Brian Robinson matchup. Let me tell you, let's do a process of elimination here. I'm not taking London here, probably not taking P. Ryan or Zach Moss in his first game back. Give me Jerry Jeudy. I like him. I like him the most out of everybody in that group. And I know it's his first game back from that hamstring issue that he had and he was forced to miss week 1. I do think he's going to lead the team in targets today. So give me Jerry Jeudy. Who you going
For a Lions team that will not yield. You ever heard this stupid song? Forward down the field, no. Detroit Lions?
No, never heard it.
Oh, that's fun though. It's so dumb. Oh, my forward down the field. We've usually made fun of that guy. He's been there forever wearing a Lions hard hat. Some of the worst teams in history he experienced, and he's still singing that damn song. He's probably pretty happy right now. Probably pretty excited today. Jamie says Aaron Jones is out. Oh,
who are you going with from Rick? I just want to hear your take on that.
Oh, you're right. You did ask me a question. Let's go back to Rick. By the way, so I'll answer Rick's question. Aaron Jones is out for the Packers, and Jacoby Myers has a concussion. He's out for sure for the Raiders on the road against the Bills, 8.5-point dogs. I'm going to go half-point PPR flex. Ugh. Boy, I don't like any of this. I got to go. I got to hope that Drake London can get more involved. I mean, he's the most talented guy here who has the most potential to bounce back. He's not terrible, but you got Desmond Ridder. Everyone thinks Desmond Ridder's terrible just because of one game the Falcons played in a victory over Carolina because he only threw for 115 yards. I'm taking London. I don't want B-Rob. I think Denver's defense is pretty solid. Maybe Samaji. If I had to go off Drake London, it's either London or Samaji for me. Yeah.
Got it.
All right, Dylan. Dylan Fink is here. What's up, Dylan? Which team do you like better this week? Full PPR. All right, here we go. Get ready. A lot of names coming at you.
Whoa.
A. Rich, Pollard, J. Cook, Diggs, MT, Andrews, Hopkins, Giants, D. So you got to be familiar with some of the acronyms here. That's Anthony Richardson, Tony Pollard, James Cook, Michael Thomas. Good job. And, of course, D-Hop. Giants defense on the road in Arizona. People are thinking Arizona is not very good and that the Giants will bounce back. 4.5-point road favorites in Arizona. That's still a little, going across the country. I don't care who you are. It's a little concerning. Team 2, Dak against the Jets D at home. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, Damian Pierce, DK Metcalf, Jerry Jeudy, Muth, Pat Freiermuth of the Steelers, Terry McLaurin, Dallas defense.
I'll let you answer first.
I would, everyone's worried about Dak against this Jets defense tonight because suddenly there was not a ton of talk about how good the Jets defense was of them. One game, and they win on a punt return touchdown, and because Zach Wilson was a starter, it just seems that the Jets defense was that much better because they won. I mean, this is still Dallas at home, their home opener. I'm I think I'm going to play the Dak side here. I'm not Rich against Houston's D. I'm a little concerned about. I like Pierce, though, to run against Indy's D. And I love McCaffrey against the Rams. I think McCaffrey keeps on rolling. Judy, I think, sucks. I love Pat Freiermuth. And Terry McLaurin, if that toe's a problem with Terry McLaurin, but I'm going to take that team over the Anthony Richardson, James Cook. There's a lot of good matchups. Stephon Diggs against the Raiders. Yeah, that's pretty juicy. And your boy, Mark Andrews, is he ready to go? I don't know, but I'm taking the Dak side.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dak side as well. DK, CMC for me, to your slam dunk plays and Dallas defense. I don't know if this is a DFS lineup or what, but Dallas defense last week against New York and at home versus a Zach Wilson led offense. Ooh, I like that team too for sure.
Seems too obvious though. Also, again, man, I mean, the Jets could run the ball. Could they run the ball better? Is the specialty for Dallas the pass rush and the pass defense, or is it just a good defense on both sides or both angles of the ball? I don't know. By the way, Dylan loves that Andrews jersey. That's not
actually
Andrews
not.
Jersey.
It's not Andrews. It is my boy. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Steve Smith Senior. Is he the only senior ever that put a senior on his jersey?
Probably.
Dylan, let's go Ravens. Obviously, good to have you in here, Dylan. Make sure you subscribe, stick around with us. Mike's a true Baltimore Ravens human being, okay?
Right.
He's not a bandwagon fan.
Nope.
Hey, Charles, our main man. What's up, Charles? There he is, the one and only. Charles, here's you, buddy. Hope you're doing well this morning. Morning, gents. Full PPR flex. Zay Jones or Christian Kirk. They're both Jaguars, Mike. Zay Jones or Christian Kirk. I'm anti-Kirk this season. I was happy to see him be out of the mix in week 1 while Calvin Ridley got served and Zay Jones scored a touchdown. I'm going to stick with Zay Jones here because for some reason Lawrence just seems to get him a touchdown almost every other week. And I thought Zay Jones would fall off the face of the earth this year because I thought it was a fluke, but I was wrong. I'm going Zay Jones over Kirk.
I am usually going to agree with you there. I did see something on Twitter yesterday that they were going to try to get him the ball more, Christian Kirk. So squeaky wheel usually gets the grease. I'm not saying that Zay Jones doesn't have value, but they did ask Doug Peterson that on, I believe, Thursday after practice is when it was. And I think they were mentioning that getting Christian Kirk the ball more. So I'm going with Zay Jones here until I see it with Christian Kirk, though. So give me Zay.
Okay.
Especially in PPR.
Especially in PPR. Okay, yeah. That's a full point PPR. Jamie says the highest over-under is KC the Jags at 51.5. Now, that's an implied total. You never know what's going to end up happening, of course, but obviously Kansas City, in the playoff game, obviously Patrick Mahomes got hurt in the divisional round last year, Mike, but that was a low-scoring affair. But it was the playoffs, so I don't know. Maybe that makes it defenses are a little bit more locked in. It's a long season. You've had a lot of tape to look at. Maybe that's a different story. Hey, look, I see the Old English D here with Jacob Johnson. What's up, dude? Jacob Johnson, you got to be excited about the Lions. I'm right here in Metro Detroit right now, my friend. What's up? What up, no? Do I start A.J. Dillon or Rashad White? That's an easy call for me. I'm going... Actually, it's not. I want to go A.J. Dillon immediately. I love A.J. Dillon. I know he 13 carries, 19 yards last week. Terrible. Expecting a bounce back. But Atlanta's defense is solid. I don't think they're otherworldly. And I do think A.J. Dillon could run on the Atlanta defense today if the offensive line can get a nice push. But Rashad White's got a much tastier matchup against the Bears' trash D.
Who are you going with?
God, people always force you into decisions around here. What the hell?
That's putting it mildly.
Fine. I'm going to go. I hate playing matchups like that, but they do matter. I'm going to go Dillon. There's no Aaron Jones. I'm going A.J. Dillon. He's going to show you guys what he's made of. He got off to a bogus start last week. It's his backfield today. A.J. Dillon.
There you go. Lock it in. I'm with you. I'm going to A.J. Dillon there. I just think the volume is key here, and I think he's going to get all of the work, a majority of their work, really. I don't think there's going to be anybody else he's going to be fighting over in that backfield. So Rashad White does have a tasty matchup. He kind of laid a dud last week, though, too. Give me A.J. Dillon. I think better offense, and it's a slam dunk for me on A.J. Dillon. But it depends on if it's PPR or not. If it's PPR, I might be considering Rashad White, but still A.J. Dillon.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Jacob, anytime. Make sure you subscribe, like. We'll be back here all week. We're talking Waiver Wire Show Tuesday, helping you out on your ad drops, everything you need. By the way, the Discord's totally free, and that's in the description. Discord link is totally free in the description. Jump in there anytime. I know I get busy over the weekend. I guess some people disappeared recently. Is the Discord falling apart, Mike? Is it over? Are we dying?
No. It's just getting started, baby. It's only just begun. For those of you guys who aren't in there and don't know or aren't familiar with our Discord, get in there. There's plenty of great minds outside of myself and Michael Govier. Not people who and people who just really know football, right? Who are willing to help you out. It's a really great community. And the best part about it is it's free. So make sure you get in there.
Free! All right, let's get back to the injury report here. We covered some of the Lions Seahawks injury issues, and I wanted to get to the other ones that matter because, what's kind of undervalued. I know we always think about and talk about injuries. It's usually about which fantasy players will start and sit, but there's also other ancillary injuries that happen, Mike, from the defensive side of the ball, the offensive line, that are going to impact how certain guys play. And I think it's always important that we kind of focus on that so we try to put it into the recipe for what we're baking up for our final dish that we're going to serve for kickoff today,
That's right, man. I'm with you. Well said.
Hey, I know a thing or two about a thing or two. The question is, though, what is the best place to go for NFL injury reports? Do you have a place you like to go? Because I'm still trying to figure out what my go-to is. Because I got a lot of go-tos for my baseball stuff, but I'm still trying to figure out my go-tos for football.
I like Adam Schefter, the GOAT. I mean, that's somebody I follow. I woke up in the middle of the night last night because usually man doesn't sleep during football season. So he's usually the first one to break the news in terms of if guys are playing or when they're or if they're not. I actually saw earlier this morning. When I say earlier this morning, I'm talking really early, that Aaron Jones wasn't playing. DeAndre Hopkins was expected to suit up, right? So he's usually my go-to, and he's usually the first to break the news. So
Little trouble there.
Hell yeah. Okay. I like that shit. Donovan, our old friend, longtime Palazzo lover. By the way, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah.
It's Palazzo podcast here. I haven't even done that today. I blew it. Full PPR flex. Pick one. Antonio Gibson, trash. Sky Moore, could have a bounce back. Or Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. For me, I think I'm easily going with Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. Although, I kind of want to go Sky Moore because someone in the wide receiver core has to step up. But I actually think Justin Ross is a guy who's the most talented receiver who, if they can get more reps for him, if he feels more comfortable in that offense, he's a guy who is totally free right now. Justin Ross should be universally on all waiver wires, especially for 12-team leagues, even 14-team leagues, because he just wasn't that involved in week one. But I like Ross more. But some receiver's going to have to be involved today for Kansas City to win, not just Kelsey being the main target.
Yeah, totally agree. It's Gibson for me is the immediate axe here, so it comes between JSN and Sky Moore. JSN's got. I mean, I love the talent the most with JSN, but he's got people he's going to be battling targets over between Metcalf, Lockett, Kenny Walker out of the backfield, playing in Detroit. I actually am going to lean I was going to agree with you on JSN. I'm actually going to go Sky Moore here. Just simply what you said, that one of the highest over-unders this week. I think he has a nice bounce back game with Kelsey back. So give me Sky Moore there.
Ooh, there you go, Donovan. That's fun, huh? Charlie says, how thin is the Ravens secondary today, Mike?
Thin. Super thin, man. It's gonna be a tough one for us. It's worth noting too, the Ravens secondary is already bad with everybody healthy as is. So we're down 2 of them already. So we have a lot of rookies playing in there today, playing in Cincinnati. And again, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to be pissed after the performance they had last week. I'm expecting the Bengals to blow the doors off today.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
That was head coach Zach Taylor of the Bengals last week, although it did sound like Jim Moore. It was weird. Chris, what's up, Chris? Make sure you subscribe and like this video, Chris. We love having you here, dude. We like to have a good time. We're going to help you win today. That's right. Goff or Purdy? Goff.
It's
Goff, I think.
Man. Yep, has to be. Division matchup with the Rams and the 49ers. I do think the 49ers are going to win, but again, Goff's matchup is just too tasty for me, especially at home. First home game. Give me Goff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Rams defense, Aaron Donald is healthy so far. He's there. He could be a problem for Purdy. It's possible. They're the home team. It doesn't matter because they're playing in LA, so that doesn't really count. Yeah. But I think it's just an easier setup for. It looks like Goff and the offense is locked in for the Lions. Until I see otherwise, I think Goff would be chosen over several quarterbacks, actually.
It's also true as well that the Lions play, especially Goff, right, plays a lot better at home last year than he did on the road. So he averages close to 20 fantasy points while he's at home. So I'm going Goff there.
Golf. There it is. George Play. What's up, George Play? Hey, all we ask is when you guys ask questions, just subscribe and like the video, and then you can move on and never come back. It's fine. Actually, we'd like you to come back if you don't mind, because we like having the interaction. Makes the show better. George, Jackson Smith and Jigba or Zay Jones, non-PPR. This is non-PPR, so receptions won't matter whatsoever. If it's touchdown dependent, woo! This is a really tough call because both these guys could get in the end zone a week too. And they're both like the third receiver. Yeah, this is a very similar matchup. I think you flip a coin on this, quite honestly. I really don't know how to make much of a case for an advantage against Seattle's D versus Kansas City's D. I mean, Kansas City's D might be a little better than Seattle's by a hair.
Yeah, I'm going Zay Jones here, just off of last week until I see it from JSN. And again, it's very, very close because, like Michael said, they're the third receiver in both their respective offenses. I just think with the over/under today in the Kansas City Jacksonville game, Zay Jones probably has a safer floor than JSN. So give me Zay Jones there.
Wow. Okay. I actually like JSN because of the track too. You're indoors at Ford Field as opposed to the grass outside in Jacksonville. That could be a slight advantage too. Just think about little things like that. He also, George got a double dip. Tua or Justin Fields. Tua, the monster week 1 game. Won a lot of people tons of DFS money week 1. But now the Miami Dolphins are off to New England. Sunday Night Football. God, you can tell how stuffed up I am, can't you? Man, sounds like I got like 2 giant rods up my nostrils. Good God in heaven. Tua on the road against the actually favored Dolphins against the Dogs Patriots. I think I'll go Tua here because until Tua falters, with Tyreek Hill being a blazing cheetah flying down the field, I know that Belichick's a smart guy, and they got a pretty good defense in New England this year, but I'm still sticking with Tua until he busts.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one as well. It's hard to sit a guy who threw for close to 500 yards last week. So tough coach, George. Imagine being the coach of your fantasy team, be like, hey, Tua, way to throw for 500 yards last week, but you're riding the bench today. I'm kidding. I like Tua. I just think with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, he's a cheat code, man. I like Tua today.
Yeah, dude, that's a good call. I don't want to stop playing Tua until I have a reason to. And I know we want to play the matchup sometimes, and I know Justin Fields not as good a quarterback as Tua. There's just no. That's a fact as a quarterback. Yeah. He can run. We know that. And that's fun. But Tampa Bay's defense is solid. Chris is back for more. He says, hey, double dipping too. Thanks, fellas. All right. That means you guys are actually hearing our words when we speak. It's good to know that. We'd like to get that, repetition returned to us. Lets us know we're not just speaking into the void for no reason. Start to flex, PPR, and tight end P, TEP. What's that mean?
I'm not sure.
Just tight end? TEP? Total? Chris, what's TEP mean? I'm stupid. Start two flex. Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram, David Montgomery, Rashad White. Gabe Davis is just the eternal nightmare. But the Jets' defense is tough. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to say Gabe Davis and David Montgomery.
Interesting. I agree with you on the David Montgomery one, so I'm also going to select him here. It's tough for me between these three guys. In PPR,
look at this.
Premium.
1.5 points.
Well, that changes things. So yeah, give me Evan Ingram and David Montgomery.
The thing is, though, you don't want to chase. You get another 0.5 point for a tight end catch, which is nice. You don't want to chase the dragon, though.
No.
Here's
how I'd rank them. I'd go Montgomery first, Rashad White second, and then it's between Gabe Davis and Evan Ingram here. But if you're getting 1.5 points per reception for tight ends, and again, I've already mentioned it multiple times in the show today, maybe they spend a little bit more time on Calvin Ridley and trying to lock him down. The points are going to be plenty in Kansas City and Jacksonville. Evan Ingram for me is more of a touchdown dependent type dude. It's hard for me to ignore the 1.5 points per reception for a tight end though. So
it's definitely enticing.
I'm probably going those two.
He's enticed, folks. Brian wants to know, will Christian Kirk have a better week this week? Let me tell you something, Brian. Glad you're here, by the way. Subscribe, like, you know the drill. You know how this works. I was anti-Christian Kirk this season. I was out on him this year. It was a really fun season last year. He was the main man for Trevor Lawrence as Lawrence finally grew, and the Jags became a playoff team with Doug Peterson in control. But with Calvin Ridley on the scene and a lot of mouths to feed, Zay Jones is still around. Evan Ingram, we just talked about, he's still around. That's a lot of opportunities, a lot of targets, a lot of reads. And we start to look at, which players are getting the most first reads. This is something to think about. I was just looking at this the other day. I work over at FTN Fantasy. It's a great place. You can use my promo code MJ Govier. Check out their subscription package. Jump in on that thing. They got this first read targets data, which is awesome. So forget targets. What are the first read targets for quarterbacks? The most out of week one. Stuff like that. It's really interesting. And I think Kirk is in a little bit of trouble right now. He might have a better game than he did in week one, because your question's saying, will he have a better week than this week, Mike? But yeah, I guess it's possible, but that's, he could have a couple catches and it'd be a better week. So Christian Kirk is a guy I was out on this season. There's too many mouths to feed, but I guess it's possible he could have a better week than this week, technically.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, you can only go up from last week where he was at. So, like you said, he could have 2 catches and be technically considered a better week. But I agree with Michael 100%. There's just a lot of mouths to feed between Ingram, Ridley, Zay Jones, obviously Calvin Ridley in there, Travis Etienne out of the backfield. I did find the quote I want to read real quick, though. So,
yeah.
Jags head coach Doug Peterson says Kirk, quote unquote, thrives against man defense, which is what the Chiefs primarily run as a defense, and quote unquote, he'll get his chances this weekend. So I'm not sure what you make of that, but at the same time, too, maybe they try to get him more involved. But again, I'm with Michael. It's enough to steer me away from Christian Kirk just because there's so many mouths to feed. And they're not just going to force the ball to him. He's not that type of receiver. So.
Yeah. Nothing like some digitized crowd noise from John Madden 94.
I was gonna say, was that Tecmo Bowl that I heard?
Yeah, that's Madden 94 crowd noise. Look at that. This is. Whoa, yeah, you can feel it. It's like you're in the game. Woo! Wow! How do they do it? It was pretty amazing in 1994. They even had fans on the screen cheering for the first time you ever saw that in your life. It was digitized. Now it looks like shit, but man, those were the days. MLK 010. What's up, MLK 010? Make sure you subscribe, like, booyah, ding dong. The witch is dead. Start Tua or Lamar for week 2. Boy, people are worried about Tua week 2. Tua freakouts after one incredible week. Too good to be true.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really sure why people. I mean, I get maybe the Lamar aspect of it because you probably drafted Lamar first over Tua. So if you own both of these guys, you're sitting pretty at the quarterback position. I've said it since day one. If you watched the show previously, I was out on Lamar given his current draft price in the 3rd round. So for me, like Michael had already alluded to, I'm starting Tua until he gives me a reason not to. So for me, it's Tua. And again, division matchups on the road in Cincinnati. I like Tua's matchup a little bit better, especially after his close to 500 yard game last week. So Tua for me.
All right, locking him in. Tua. I'm going Tua too. I like Lamar, but Tua until further notice, just because Mike McDaniel's a smart coach in that offense.
He is.
When Tua's they control the offense. The Miami offense is elite. It's super elite. They're genuinely like a Super Bowl contender with that offense. But will Tua get knocked out this week against New England? I don't know. Pow! Yeah. That could happen. That could be Tua. Yeah. That was the pow. See, this is even more incredible. Pow! When you heard that in the game, it freaked me out. I was like, whoa! Pow! That was Madden speaking. That's right, Donovan. If it's in the game, it's in the game. That's right. Damn right. Brian says, thanks, guys. Really appreciate the info. You got it, buddy.
No problem.
We're here to serve you. That's right. We're here to serve you. You are the main man. Liked and subscribed. Look at that. What a good... Here, you get a round of applause, buddy. Thank you so much. It means a lot, man. It means a lot. You know, I'm kind of emotional right now. I'm getting all dick for meal now. I'll start crying. Now, and I won't cry, but I mean, it's, I appreciate when people make the effort like that. That's why we love doing the show. Love talking football. Me and Mikey live, MKB Fantasy. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and MJ Govier on Twitter. Of course, Palazzo Podcast.
Utah.
2 L's.
Give me 2.
2 Z's. That's us. Discord's free. You've heard it before. You'll hear it again. Charles says, good luck, everyone. Going to set the rest of my lineups. All right, Charles is going in to the hyperbaric chamber. He's going down in the basement. He's going to lock himself in with the lineups.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in.
I want to ask my question, and feel free to jump in the live chat here and tell me what you guys think, okay? Because I want to hear from you guys as well. Even though Michael and I have played this game for many, 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 many years, we also kind of are on the fence about certain start sits. So it's interesting to hear what other people think. So I have Aaron Jones out of the lineup today. Lineup. I'm still in baseball mode. Not playing today versus the Falcons. So he's got that hamstring bite, as he said. So I am stuck between Dameon Pierce and Zach Moss, who should get the draw to start today against the Houston Texans. They do play each other. They are playing in Houston, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So who are you going with, Zach Moss or Dameon Pierce, Michael Govier? And it's non-PPR, if that helps. It's non-PPR.
Let's see. I'm thinking about this one. Very difficult. Let's see, anybody jumping in the live chat yet?
Not anybody. Nope, nobody yet.
Chocolate chip muffins. That's not the answer, right?
Nope. Although those do sound delicious.
Zach Moss.
Or Dameon
Zach
Pierce.
Moss. I think it's Dameon Pierce for me. Yeah.
That's who I have currently right now. Yeah.
Zach Moss got everyone excited last week. It looked pretty promising. I mean, Houston's defense is not going to be a world beater, but I do like what DeMeco Ryans has brewing down there. It doesn't mean that Moss can't get a bunch of catches out of the backfield, too, if you play in PPR. This is PPR. This is not PPR. It's your standard home league, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's not going to matter. Yeah, I'm going to go with Pierce, man. I think Pierce could bust in the end zone for sure. I think DeMeco Ryans is a classic coach who wants to run him close to the goal line, get some tutties.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him more involved this week than they did last week. I think just game scripts probably held them out of using Dameon Pierce so much. Right now, and especially Zach Moss's first game back, I think it's going to be a little bit more even between Deion Jackson on passing down work and Zach Moss. So I'm going with Dameon Pierce today, and I'm hoping that he delivers. I just need a touchdown from him. He's my flex play this week. So
I'd be really concerned, though. Everybody said Pierce here. Maybe you should go with Moss. Telling you, man. Groupthink is a dangerous, dangerous place to be.
It is.
And it's led to some bad things in our society. So, it's NFL football. It's just fantasy football. Probably won't kill anybody. It won't lead to the death of anyone. But it could lead to the crushing defeat of your team. And I don't want that for you.
Right. Next question we have Kalua PvP. What's up, man? Like Michael had mentioned, make sure you like, subscribe, rate us, all that good stuff. You know what to do.
What up, though?
He is asking Cook or Gibbs for running back. Which Cook are we talking about here, Kalu? Are we talking about James Cook? Or are we talking about Dalvin Cook? Or are we talking about Brandon Cooks? I know it's with an S. If he's out today, so make sure you guys get Brandon Cooks out of your lineup. He's not playing today. Cook or Gibbs? We'll give you a second to respond here, Kalua. I assume you're talking about. I'm just gonna take a guess. I assume you're talking about James Cook.
Oh, he could be trolling us, though. Who knows? It could be a
James.
short order Cook. Yeah.
He says James, sorry, and it's also PPR. So, Michael, in a PPR league, who are you going with between James Cook and Jahmyr Gibbs?
It's Gibbs all day for me, no doubt about it. I think if Buffalo's going to do anything on offense, they're going to get it to Diggs. They're going to get it to Knox. Allen's going to run it in. The running back's always an afterthought. Why would anything ever change with Buffalo's offense, Kalua? You know the deal. You've been watching football. You've seen this Buffalo offense in action for a few years now. Running backs, secondary. They're lucky if they get a touchdown once in a blue moon. Nope.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with Michael on this one. Jahmyr Gibbs for me as well. I do, especially in PPR formats. I do think they're going to get him the ball more. And for those of you guys who are disappointed with Jahmyr Gibbs' outlook, the writing was on the wall from the get-go. Head coach losing me here.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Yes, I don't know why I want to say Robin. Dan Campbell had also said that again, that they were going to ease him into action. I do think that happens today. He looked explosive last week. They're at home. Give me Gibbs here, and it's a slam dunk.
It's also a second. There you go. Yeah, it's a second game. A little bit more comfortable. Gets a little bit more involved in the offense. You got Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. This is something big. I don't know why I slipped my mind, but Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator of the Lions. He could have been a head coach this year. He decided not to. Decided to stay. It's very unusual to see an OC not immediately just move forward to be the man. But he looked around. He's like, you know what? There's unfinished business here in Detroit. Yep. This roster's stacked. Jahmyr Gibbs is on this team. I mean, that was after the fact. He stayed, and then Jahmyr Gibbs showed up. But there is going to be a lot of opportunities to get Jahmyr Gibbs involved all kinds of ways across the line of scrimmage. We're talking all over the place, not just running back. We're talking like split out, slots, halfback, Marv Cook, 1989 style. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a Pete Holohan. Anybody know who Pete Holohan is? Anybody out there? You got to be old, I think, to know Pete Holohan. He was a Rams halfback. Back in the late 80s when a halfback was the guy who lined up as a tight end but kind of off the line, technically in the slot. That was a halfback in the NFL in 1989. And Pete Holohan of the Rams, the LA Rams. Shout out Pete Holohan. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope he's alive. Hope he doesn't have CTE. Hope he's not dead. That would be very disappointing.
Kalua also says, thanks, guys. Head cooking right now, but debating the whole day. And this is something I also want to mention real quick, Michael, if I could. Especially in fantasy football, we love doing shows like this. We love helping people out too. But again, we're just two guys, right? We don't know. We can't predict the future. Sometimes it's always good to go with your gut. So if you like James Cook today, that doesn't mean just because we both said Gibbs doesn't mean that Gibbs is the play. Go with your gut. We're just telling you in terms of who we would start if that was our team. So if you like James Cook today, you like the matchup, go with James Cook. You're the ultimate decision maker here in terms of when you lock your lineup in. If you like James Cook, Kalua, go with him.
No, I don't trust technology.
Good call.
Exactly.
All right, we got a bunch of questions rolling in here. Bring them. Let's go.
Yeah, Chris, I know we got to a couple of years, man. We will get to it, but I want to get somebody else in here. We haven't heard from Mo Diesel yet.
Mo Diesel, pick up that diesel. No.
make sure you like and subscribe, Mo, if you could. He asked Donovan Peoples-Jones or Allen Robinson. It's also worth noting that Deontay Johnson is not going to be playing today for Pittsburgh, and they play each other. Both these guys are playing on Monday Night Football. Michael, who do you like? Donovan Peoples-Jones, Allen Robinson.
2 Monday night games.
Utah.
Yep.
Give me 2.
Week 2. They used to do it in week 1. Now they're doing week 2. What the fuck? I guess because they basically NFL is admitting that week 1 is a shit show. They're like, that's not a real week, so let's do week 2. Yeah. That's fine. At least it's not a preseason game, though. I'm not complaining. I'm happy.
Yep.
My guy, my former Wolverine, Donovan Peoples-Jones, out of Detroit. Went to high school in Detroit, played college ball here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. But it's always a guy that never got there. He just never – there's a lot of talent there. Motor questions. Does he love the game? Does he not? Is he just kind of there? Is he playing off his talent? Is that still enough? I mean, I guess it could be. I don't trust Deshaun Watson yet, and I think the Steelers have to play much better. And with Deontay Johnson out and Allen Robinson was involved, I think I'm going to take Allen Robinson here, especially if it's PPR.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. I just think, again, with Deontay Johnson not being there, they do have George Pickens there, who's Michael's boy. I think Allen Robinson, he did see some good targets last week too. So I'm going with Allen Robinson here. I just think he has a little bit of a safer floor here than DPJ. So give me Allen Robinson there. Chris, we'll get back to your question here. Jerry Jeudy, Tyler Lockett, or Jahan Dotson, PPR. Michael, who are you going with?
The easy choice is obviously Lockett. The other two are in the same game, Jeudy and Dotson. Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos live in Colorado later on the 4 o'clock slate. I had Lockett as a sit, when I pulled up that video, the little Patreon preview there, the Lions Seahawks start sits. I just thought that Lockett would be the odd man out today, but I don't have anything to prove that really. So I don't know. PPR, Lockett's a guy who could rack up long balls. He can also rack up catches depending on how pace of the game is going. Dots is a guy I really like, but I think it's going to be a little tougher for the Commanders on the road here. I'm going to go Lockett, I guess, even though I said he's just sit.
I'm going to go a different direction here. I'm going to say Jerry Jeudy. First game back. I like him the most out of the receiving core in this Denver receiving room. So give me Jerry Jeudy here. I just think he probably has the targets a little bit more volume than the rest of these guys. Lockett and Dotson are kind of in the same boat for me. And I trust the quarterback more of Russell Wilson than I do Sam Howell with Washington. It's really between Jeudy and Lockett for me, but PPR, give me Jeudy.
Get trusted.
Next.
All right. Next one we have here, Mr. Nice Gaming. What's up, man?
Hey!
Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here if you could. We do these every Sunday. Come hang out with us. I'm glad that you're here. He asked Terry McLaurin or JSN full PPR.
And he stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by. Struck him out.
That could be Terry McLaurin today. He could have a 0. I mean, is that toe ready to go? I don't know. He was not very useful in the week 1 game for the Commanders over Arizona, right? I think we've made it clear for me. Yeah, Patrick Surtain, he shut down one half of the field last week for the Broncos. Meanwhile, Jacoby Myers was on the other side and had a field day.
Exactly.
PPR, McLaurin's a guy who could rack up more catches if it's PPR, but a touchdown's a touchdown, and I'm really locked in on this JSN touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a guy I'm locking in. I'm staying with my prediction. He's going to score a touchdown, so I'm going with JSN.
I'm going with JSN as well. I just don't trust the toe. Surtain's going to be on him like a wet blanket. I just don't like the matchup there. So give me JSN.
Hey, there you go. Look at that.
I'm a problem solver, all right? This is what I do.
That's what we do here.
That's what we do. Mo has another question here. Start 3 in this half PPR league. Allen Robinson, Sean Tucker, Hollywood Brown, Terry McLaurin, as I assume who you're talking about with Terry there, Robert Woods, and Alan Lazard. Michael, which 3 are you going with there?
Woo, Mo Diesel. Start 3, half PPR. Well, Allen Robinson, I liked him. I already said that earlier. I'm sticking with that. Sean Tucker, I don't know how many opportunities he'll get. That's very risky. This must be a deeper league. Hollywood, nobody cares about Hollywood Brown. I absolutely start Hollywood Brown. Okay? Josh Dobbs, he's serviceable. Hollywood Brown is a superior talent. He can fly around the field. Robert Woods built a nice rapport with C.J. Stroud in week 1. Well, that'll be a big storyline. Actually, one of the storylines that's not a storyline but should be a storyline for us fantasy people is, will Robert Woods continue to have a connection with C.J. Stroud in week 2? If he does, that really bodes well for him rest of season. I think that'll be curious. I'm out on Lazard. Terry already made my points clear on Terry McLaurin, so I'm going to go with Robinson, Hollywood, and Woods.
Hit that lock it in button one more time because those are my 3 as well.
Oh, we agree. That's dangerous. By the way, Charles wants you to start Pierce, so he agreed. He gave you an answer to your question.
There you go. All right. Good
what about
deal.
Maka J?
Sorry, where are we at?
Oh, he's all the way back up here by Charles. This one. Whoop.
Oh, there we go. T-Law or Anthony Richardson in QB this week. For me, it's not even close. It's Trevor Lawrence. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence guy this year. I just think he has a safer floor here. Great matchup with Kansas City here. I think he throws for at least 2 or 3 touchdowns. Give me Trevor Lawrence. It's not close.
Yes, sir. I completely agree. Maybe that's lame, but that's just the truth. Mako J37, make sure you like and subscribe while you're here, brother or sister, whoever you are. A lot of anonymous people out there. I don't know who's who. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with the next one here.
I think we're getting spammed. I'm going to put this in the timeout. Got to put you in the timeout. Bye. There goes.
All right.
Michael Hushy. You're out of here. See, look, he's gone. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I didn't even see what he was posting in there.
He just said the same thing over and over again. It was Azon. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
that's like a code that's going to unlock some type of assassination from some guy. It's like that code that you put in that people put. You ever see that movie where there's like a code that unlocks? This show is based on the movie The Naked Gun. Remember? There's code that unlocks an assassin. I must kill the queen. So you got to be careful.
Yeah. Brian says, have you guys ever seen a league where you get points for field goal yardage? In my brother's league, the commish changed the setting last second. So the points is 0.1 per yard. Interesting. So like if you hit a 55-yard field goal, it's 5.5. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, this is a new one to me. I love trying to play with new formats and have some fun, but I've never played in a league like that. I can say that with all certainty.
I kind of like that, actually. It's kind of fun because nothing chaps my ass more when a guy hits a 49-yard field goal and only counts as 4, when really it should be closer to 5, right? So I kind of like that, Brian. It's a different for me, but at the same time, too, I kind of like it. So
what are you talking about?
I don't know what format or what platform you play on, but I'd be interested to know that. We play on Yahoo, so
I bet it's on Fantrax where you can like customize everything to the max.
Exactly. Okay. All right.
I guess it could be sleeper, maybe. So.
Yeah. Mako J 37. Pick a flex. Zay Jones, London, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, or Robinson Jr. I assume you mean Brian Robinson.
Yeah. I think that's probably right. Yeah. One flex out of these. This is a tough call. Jaden Reed, the rookie. Christian Watson. We got to get an update on him. Is he going to be a go for the Packers today? We're at quarter after 11 here. Is he out? It's over?
Yeah. I think he's out. I think that's what Schefter said earlier today, but I'll confirm.
Okay, that's fine. Well, look.
That's the game. That's the fucking game.
It is. The game's cruel. It can lead to injuries, and you're out. I'm going to go with I love Dobbs. I'm such a Dobbs lover, man. I got to go with my guy, Dobbs. I know I'm not riding the bandwagon. I drafted him all over the place. The 2 touchdowns last week was just a fun bonus for a guy that played limited snaps. Going Dobbs on that indoor track in Atlanta.
I got to say, it's between, and again, if it's a PPR league or not, or if it's standard, I'm not sure what format it is. But yeah, I'm with you on that. With Dobbs, it's between Dobbs and Brian Robinson for me. I think Dobbs is going to be the wide receiver 1 in that offense with no Christian Watson. Give me Dobbs there as well.
That league's on Yahoo, actually. There you go.
Interesting. I have to talk to my commissioner, a.k.a. my brother.
Hey, his twin brother. Right. By the way, Jamie said, did you see that college kicker hit a 61-yarder yesterday? I sure did, because I had Kansas State. So,
yeah, that was tough.
It was a tough day. College football gambling for me yesterday. I pick all these winners, but then I put one bad loser in a parlay, and that's it. It's over. So I got 4 out of 5. Doesn't mean shit.
Nope.
So parlays are, God damn it. I love parlays, and I know they're stupid. I have a problem. I don't have a gambling problem, but if you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLING-PROBLEM.
Yeah, please do. Don't waste all your money.
All right.
I did say it's full PPR, by the way, if that helps your decision.
Full PPR. Pull those names up one more time real quick.
Yep. Zay Jones, Drake London, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I still like I love Dobbs in full PPR. I will say, like I said earlier in the show, I think London could have a bounce back here. London's got to play better. There's got to be a better, I don't know. Arthur Smith loves to run the ball so damn much. He doesn't give a shit about your fantasy team. He's made it very clear in Atlanta. So sticking with Dobbs, but I part of me is my body, something inside of me is telling me that Drake London will be better this week. But that could just be fool's gold because I once believed that Bernie Sanders could be president. So, I mean, what the hell do I know? So.
I'm sticking with Romeo Dobbs. The guy was in limited action and still caught 2 touchdowns yesterday, and it seems like they have a good rapport between the two, Jordan Love and Romeo Dobbs. So even when if Christian Watson comes back from the hamstring injury, he did practice a little bit on Friday. I did see that he's also out. Romeo Dobbs is the guy for me here, and I'm with you.
You're on the Dobbs train.
Yeah, I'd like Drake London, but like you had said, they just run the shit out of the football, and they're going to do it again with Bijan and Tyler Algier. And again, I'm not necessarily sure I trust Desmond Ridder. So give me Romeo Dobbs there.
All right, I'm gonna do something here. How much longer do you want to hang on here?
Do as long as you want, man. As long as it's not 1 p.m.
Yeah, no, well, that's the thing here. I really want to start focusing on my lineups too, but I don't want to end the show. We got people. We got a fresh question too. So what I'm going to do is we're going to keep going here, but I'm going to pull up a screen with I'm going to start showing my lineups. You guys can play along in the live chat. We can still answer your questions. It'll be fun.
Yep.
It'll be interactive. Look at this. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. All right. I had Jalen Hurts on. That was great on Thursday. That worked out well. We got a question here.
Yeah. Sorry.
Draco Juiced. What we got?
Draco Juiced. 12-team PPR. Start 2 between Brandon Ayuk, Drake London, D-Hop, and DJ Moore.
Ooh,
I think Ayuk is definitely one of those two. I think you got to start him today. So it leaves me between Drake London, DeAndre Hopkins, who's battling an ankle injury. I am steering clear of DeAndre Hopkins today. He did not practice all week. I just don't know how effective he's going to be. And ankle injuries are extremely easy to injure again. So I don't love Drake London and DJ Moore either. Shit. Give me DJ Moore there, and I don't feel good about it. But
I'm going to go with D-Hop and Ayuk. Yeah.
Okay.
Until I see otherwise. We're both out on DJ Moore. And if those of you guys are new to the Palazzo podcast,
Utah. Give me 2.
Draco Juice says, wow. I don't know why you're saying wow. We'd love to know why you say wow. Fill us in, dude. But Draco, let me tell you that we've both been out on DJ Moore this year. That is not our guy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. What about Ryan Tao? Half PPR.
Yeah, half PPR. Cortland Sutton, Zay Jones, or Nico Collins of the Houston Texans. Who are you going with?
Well, Cortland Sutton scored a touchdown, only caught 5 balls, though. But a touchdown's a touchdown last week from Russell Wilson, who had a good first half that fell apart. Zay Jones, we've covered him in pretty clear detail on the show today. And then Collins. Who's Collins? I'm spacing out. It's too many names.
Nico Collins.
Oh, my My Wolverine, my other Wolverine. Nico Collins, a guy that I've obsessed over for multiple seasons, who's never lived up to his massive physical potential. Actually had 4 catches for 80 yards last week, and I was flipping out. I couldn't believe it. And now he's home against the Colts today. Nico Collins, half PPR. I want Nico Collins over all 3 of these guys. I think I do. Again, that's my Michigan gold-blue, fandom playing a role in that. That's a problem.
Yeah, I actually like Nico Collins a lot. I'm actually starting him in one of my leagues as my wide receiver too. I love the matchup for Nico today. Lock it in, Michael. He's going to be somebody, again, who's going to put up a decent line today. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. I like him the most out of these 3 guys. Give me Nico Collins.
All right. There we go. Love to see Nico Collins finally have a decent season. Maybe he needs to just be unlocked by C.J. Stroud, who's a Buckeye, by the way. Uh-oh. I got a kicker. Greg Zuerlein's out this week. Oh, boy. I got to get a new kicker on this team. Yeah. That's bad news. But with this lineup here, obviously, CeeDee Lamb, he stays in the lineup every week. Your boy, Zay Flowers, on the road in Cincinnati. Garbage time stats, maybe?
Mm-hmm. It's worth noting, too, he got double-digit targets last week. I love Zay Flowers.
I know. It was great. I mean, I couldn't believe that right out the gate. My favorite player, my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Zay Flowers, got so many grabs from Lamar. I'm so glad that he locked in on. He realized how good he was. Like, dude, I got to get this guy the ball. He's awesome. That's really cool. Yep. But Rondale Moore wasn't bad last week. I mean, he didn't have a huge week, but at least he was a little bit involved in a crappy offense, and I think that bodes well for him to be their slot receiver, catching more balls. Rondale Moore in PPR leagues, I like. That's where I like him.
You like him better over Romeo Doubs and Michael Gallup, who I see there on your bench?
Yeah, I just put Dobbs in. You're right. So that was dumb. But I still got to deal with my flex here because Dylan and Kenneth Walker are not going anywhere. But comes down to the flex. Mostert, I don't know if I want to play him against New England's defense. Michael Gallup, Hunter Renfrow, I should cut. Bourne had 2 touchdowns last week. I believe in Kendrick Bourne. Should I double down on Kendrick Bourne? I mean, that would be a lot of fun.
I'm going with Mostert there. I think he has the best chance to score there at anybody on your bench. Kendrick Bourne did look good last week, but is it repeatable? We've seen him in the league quite a few times now. This is a PPR format, so maybe Kendrick Bourne is somebody that you can grab and put in your flex there. Hopefully that history repeats itself. Maybe he catches a touchdown today, especially in the red zone. So I do expect that game to be high scoring.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Bourne for now, but it's a Sunday night game. I got several hours to change my mind.
There you go.
What's about next one? We're live.
Give me 2.
Next one we got here from Alex Smith.
Alex
Smith?
No
Hope
shit.
your leg's feeling better, man.
God, that was scary, man. He really went through a lot, and I'm glad he's doing okay now.
Alex, if you don't mind, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube here. We're rolling along here on the Palazzo Podcast. 2 L's, 2 Z's. Pick 2 PPR.
Utah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Give me 2.
DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Pittman, Najee Harris, James Conner, or Kenneth Walker. So he says pick 2. Okay. Michael, I'll start with you.
Well, I'm definitely starting Kenneth Walker. I think he's going to have a big day today. I thought he had a good day last week. He had a good average. He only carried the ball 12 times last week in that stupid loss to the Rams, 12 for 64. So I'm definitely going back to the well with Kenneth Walker. I don't care if it's PPR or not. He'll have... I'm expecting 100 yards, at least a touchdown against this Lions defense. So the other ones, D-Hop, Pittman. Pittman blew me away. He had such a big game with the rookie quarterback who's one of his big issues, could he be accurate? Well, he was accurate to Pittman plenty of times last week, so that was surprising. James Conner at home against the Giants. Maybe that's a safe play. Dobbs dumps a lot to Conner. That's not a terrible idea. I still like D-Hop, though. D-Hop's playing. He's on the field. I know Tannehill's a fucking disaster. I think I'm going to go D-Hop and Walker here.
I'm going Conner and Walker for me, Alex. Like Michael alluded to, he was the most efficient runner in week 1 last week. So, and again, I know we're only talking about week 1, but again, he's really their entire offense. I like him as a check down specialist today, especially going up against a Giants defense who I'm not necessarily overly concerned with at home. Give me Kenny Walker and give me James Conner, but it is close between Conner and Pittman for me. But I'm going Kenny Walker and James Conner there for me. So Spencer says, hey guys, is there a world where I start AJ Dillon over Najee Harris or Rashad White? My concerns are Harris against that heavy Browns D. Michael, who are you going with here?
Dog pound. Actually, the game's in Pittsburgh. The Browns are road favorites in Pittsburgh. That's unheard of. That's so stupid. Yeah. No, wait. I mean, I'm taking Pittsburgh just out of common sense. If the Browns are that good and they're going to go in there and win as a favorite and cover that, then show it to me. I need to see that to believe it first, Browns. No way. The Browns are like the Lions. They're both terribly flawed, tragic franchises. Maybe the two most in football history, in NFL history. I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon because that's my guy. He's always my guy. There is a world where you start A.J. Dillon all the time, man. A.J. Dillon's a guy I love this year. And with Jones out, this is his time. If Dillon doesn't perform here when he gets a full workload without Aaron Jones, Mike, shit, that's going to be a real problem for me. It's going to really bum me out. And yeah, people are going to be surprised.
Wow,
going to be
dude.
saying, wow, dude, you let us down, A.J. But I'm going with A.J. I'm sticking with him.
Yeah, I'm going with that too. Jalen Warren's going to be a part of that offense, whether you like it or not, with Najee Harris. That's why I was out on Najee all year long. I don't have any shares of him. I do have a couple shares of A.J. Dillon. I'm rolling with him as well. Again, he did not look the most efficient running back last week, but he's a guy that just needs carries. So in order to get in the groove, and I think they're going to lean on him heavy today. Give me A.J. Dillon.
Okay. Well, hell yeah.
All right. Jamie says, if London shits the bed and AJ who could you get in trades for a return on both?
He's trying because he's in that league. That's why he wants me to trade him. So
Okay.
Yeah, he knew that's Jamie's league he set up. That's the Bozo Invitational, whatever the hell we call it. You guys have been crushing it in the live chat. Thank you so much for doing this. I think I'm going to go. If you want to stay on, Mike, you can, or we can call it a day. I mean, we've done a good service here.
Let's call it a day. It's actually, I'll stay on for 4 more minutes. If you guys have questions, I'll do rapid fire. 4 more minutes. Drop them in the live chat here, and I'm outie. But give me who you guys got. We'll answer some questions. Make sure you guys are following this man to my left, Michael Govier, MJ Govier on Twitter, aka X. Make sure you follow the Palazzo Podcast on Twitter/X, and make sure you give us a like and follow on YouTube.
Yeah, I got to get my NFL bets in. I got to do my NFL DFS. Of course, all my season long. I got too much to do. I'm just like you guys. I got a lot of work. So I want to thank you guys for jumping in here. I think this was a pretty successful effort here. We're going to try to do this every Sunday now. And of course, we'll be back on Tuesday as well, talking about waiver wire, the standard issue. You know how it is. Sunday, start sits. Tuesday, waiver wire. Maybe something sprinkled in along the way. Of course, we got plenty of videos on our channel, too, that we dropped along the way, like quick updates on players, quick blurbs, like, hey, this guy sucks, and here's why. A lot of good stuff here. And actually, what we've been doing this year, Mike, is all the football stuff has been exclusively on YouTube. We haven't been putting any of it on the podcast form. So this is where you get it all right now. I don't know if we're going to keep doing that, but I was just trying it out to see how it goes. So
yeah,
this is the place to get all the football stuff, and you get to see us in person. We think we know what we're doing. We've been around.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to look at our two beautiful faces every Sunday? I mean, and Tuesday. Come on.
I agree. I don't know.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. But I want to thank you guys for jumping in the live chat. You follow me, MJ Govier, on Twitter, of course, Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Give me 2.
Mike says stick around for a few more minutes because he's a good guy till 11:30. Donovan, everybody. Brian, good to know you. Thanks, everybody. I'm out of here.
See you, Michael. All right, everybody who's in the live chat here, I got a couple more minutes. If you guys want to drop your start sit questions, we'll do a rapid fire segment here. Please make sure you give me the format, non-PPR or PPR or half-point PPR. Make sure you identify guys with common last names like Smith, those type of names. Make sure you give me that. But again, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. Rapid fire. Drop your start sit questions here. We'll get you guys in locked and loaded, and then I'm going to head out of here myself. I got shit to do before 1 p.m. So drop your questions in the live chat. I got a couple of squanderies myself in terms of who I'm starting with. I think I mentioned earlier in the show between Dameon Pierce and Zach Moss. I think I'm going to go on Dameon Pierce here myself. But Brock, what's up, man? Nice to have you on here. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to the Palazzo Podcast YouTube channel. We do it every Sunday. He says, with Aaron Jones out, would you start David Montgomery, Kyron Williams, or even Zach Moss in full PPR? David Montgomery, slam dunk for me here, Brock. I know that he doesn't really offer a whole lot in terms of PPR aspects of it, but man, if you've been following me or you've been following the Palazzo Podcast, you know that I'm a huge David Montgomery guy. I just liked him way too much given his current ADP compared to Gibbs. I like him to score today. Which obviously counts for 6 points, hopefully, in your league. So I do like him to score, and I definitely like him to get at least 15 carries today. So David Montgomery, and it's not close. Let's see. Brian says PPR Rashad White or Raheem Mostert. In PPR formats, give me Rashad White. Hopefully he performs a little bit better than he did last week. They do like him as a 3-down back. That was reported prior to coming into this season. Give me Rashad White. I think Mostert does see a good amount of the work today, but I like Rashad White's matchup a little bit better. So, all right. I got one more minute here. What do you guys got? Give me some more questions here. Let's get you guys locked and loaded for week 2. Those you guys, again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but please make sure you like and subscribe to the Palazzo Podcast YouTube channel. We're going to do this every Sunday. We do Tuesday show as well for your ad drops right before Waiver Wire Wednesday. So make sure you guys follow us. Make sure you guys are following along. We want to help. And make sure you get in the Discord as well. So, all right. Doesn't look like we have any more questions here. Last call. All right. I am out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining today. For Michael Govier and myself, Mike Virginia, follow me at AbKB Fantasy. Make sure you follow Michael Govier at MJ Govier on Twitter, aka X. Good luck in your week 2 matchups. Hopefully you guys all kick ass. Make sure you guys come back on Tuesday. Let us know how you did. Enjoy a day of football. Get your lineups locked and loaded. Go get your shit done before 1 p.m. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for attending again. Appreciate it. And again, I'm available on Twitter if you guys need anything. So make sure you guys check us out there. And you know what? I am going to end it on one of my favorite clips here. All right. You guys have a good rest of the Sunday here. We will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much.
Fucking Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it, chug it, football all night.